Hello, and welcome to another episode of Healing from the Mess with me, Lizzie. Today we're going to kind of fill in where we left off, or recent events. So, a few weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, my mother's husband called my husband, and they were having a casual conversation like they usually do. And my husband had casually asked him, "Hey, how's she treating you? How are things going?" And he said something, I don't know what he said, but then he said something like, "Oh, I wish that your wife or my wife would talk to each other." And my husband said, "Yeah, I don't see that happening. I haven't seen my wife this happy ever. So I don't think that's going to happen." A week later, he calls me. Her husband calls me and asks me what the plans are for when my mom dies. I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Well, she's being buried, cremated, where you're going to put her. I just want to know because I'm doing all this, getting everything ready. And he said that her and I had an arrangement. And I'm like, "I don't know what she's talking about. I don't remember. I don't recall. But honestly, I'd probably have her put with you and her mom, his mom, because that makes sense to me, because where else would she want to be? Where else would it make sense, right?" But it was really weird because I was just talking to my therapist the day before about her death, her dying. So it was kind of weird to hear him bring it up. Honestly, I don't know what I would do. I was thinking about it. There's a part of me that she's always been this person where, well, I don't want to be buried because suffocation. You're gonna be dead. But anyway, and she doesn't want to be cremated because she's afraid of fire, and she doesn't like water, so no Viking funeral. So my brain is like, well, you should bury her, because honestly, it's selfish. The reason why I would have her buried, I could do both. I understand get her cremated, and I could also bury her, and I might do that because it's cheaper. But I also think about the fact that if I have her buried in a box, it's kind of like an ultimate FU. And I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about her being anywhere. It's weird because I don't want her ashes in my home. I don't want her anywhere. I don't want her in my home, period. Alive or dead. Don't want her in my home. Do I want the kids to have something? Yeah. But I think I would make them like a picture book. Like I would create a memory book for them with all the pictures of her with them. I think I would do that. I'd rather do that because I don't need your ashes in my home. She's not welcome in my home. So, and I want that boundary to exist, into the afterlife. So I might have her cremated and buried, because that seems to make sense to me. That way, if anybody else in the family wants ashes, they can have them. Like, if you want this, you have to pay for it. You have to do that. You can go ahead. Whatever you take, and then she's being buried. Like, I think that's what I'm going to do. Is it weird thinking about it? Yeah. But honestly, I've been grieving the loss of my mom for a long time, and her being dead would just it would just make the grief make sense. I guess, I'm no longer grieving someone who's alive. I can grieve the loss of someone who's actually passed on. But I don't know. Um, it is not something that I try to dwell on either. Um, I I'm getting there. I'm getting there. This has been a really difficult process for me. Um, I'm still healing. I'm still trying to make peace with my inner child. Um, I think the one thing that bothers me the most is the lies. Is the lying. I don't like being lied to. I don't like it at all by anyone. Um, I am the most understanding person. There's no reason for you to lie to me. So why lie to me? And everything, now I'm questioning every single thing she's ever told me. And that's really hard because I'm never going to know the answers. And that makes me angry because I want the answers. Don't I deserve answers? I think I deserve answers. Why do I have answers? I want the answers. Please give me the answers. And that's really frustrating. It's really frustrating. I will say that all of us are finally on the mend from sickness. um, my therapist and I actually both, and she said this, and it was funny, but it was like you wish there was a car wash for your house that you could wash it that way, and get all the sickness off everything, off all surfaces, fabrics, everything. It'd be great. I wish they had a car wash for your house. It'd be fantastic. Um, but it's not how it works, right? So there's just a lot, and having to come to terms with not knowing the answers. I struggle with that the most because I love having the answers. I love having facts. I like to see things from all angles. I have put in a request for records. Um, to give me some clarity on some things. My husband was like, "Why are you doing that?" It's like, because I need to know. And I'm an adult. The fact that you're an adult and you can actually go to a courthouse and request certain records. I done that as a kid. You can't do it as a child. I still feel like I'm like a 12-year-old. I can't go. I can't do this. I am 38 years old. I can actually go to a courthouse and request open records of past cases that I have an interest in. I can do that as an adult. That's insane. I am so excited. And not excited like woo, like excited I can do that, but I'm really kind of terrified because when you think about what you can find, that's scary. Um, and we're gonna have a little bit more insight into something. It doesn't make it any easier. having records you can hold in your hand and look at and have this concrete proof, right, is great. But there also comes a lot of grief with that. There comes a lot of pain with that. And I have to prepare myself for that feeling. I'm doing the best I can. It's not easy. I think I'm going to stop here. I hope you enjoyed this video podcast. And I think tomorrow or Thursday, or actually probably Friday, I'll release part 2 of the 2006 series. Thanks for listening, and I hope you'll join me next time for another episode of Healing from the Mess with me, Lizzie.